Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's episode of Late Night Q&A with ZodWriter. I have the pleasure of welcoming a good friend of mine, TeladiaPlays. What's up, man? Welcome.
Thank you for having me on your show, and great. Thank you very much.
Hey, it's great to have you here. And right off the bat, before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to Skywalker the Jedi and hashtag the Cool Table and those guys over there here at in Sill Nation. We are one big happy community, and you know what? We try very hard not to have our streams overlap. So shout out to those guys. I really, it's hard because I never know when people are going live and when people aren't going live. I actually wouldn't mind if those of us in Sill Nation, if we started coordinating more together, letting each other know, hey, yo, I'm going live at this time. You guys are going live at that time. So that this way we don't have any overlappings, because let me be honest, I love watching the Cool Table when they do their live streams. They're great guys. They do great stuff, and they're part of Sill Nation. And I don't want to miss what they're saying, and going live, basically competing with them. So that's my take on that. So shout out to the Cool Table. Shout out to Skywalker. Shout out to Sill Nation, and shout out to all of you in the chat. It's really great to see everybody here. And well, how do you like to prefer? What's the best way? Is it Teladia or Teladia? How do you? Can you
The pronounce
say
the
correct for
pronunciation.
me?
Okay, so the pronunciation for my name is Taladia.
Teladia. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I know Sil and a couple of others were like saying my name wrong for quite a
Teladia.
long.
I don't want to say it wrong, so that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. And I even watched a couple of your videos, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Teladia, and you start out with Teladia, and you do your stuff. And man, I've been checking out your channel. I really like your content. You play a lot of games. You talk about a lot of games. It's really some great stuff, man. Can you
thank
tell
you.
me a little bit about your channel and how you got started?
Well, I was actually before becoming a content creator myself, I was a viewer that I was a bigger content creator that does DC, Marvel, all that different stuff for video games. And he was my big
Hmm.
inspiration. So as soon as I started doing YouTube about in 2008, I really started about 10 years ago, but then that channel broke down, YouTube had its problems. So I started up this channel called Teladia Plays, where I play well, I started off doing GTA videos and started off doing WWE videos, 2K, 2K22, 2K15, and I was doing mixture of both. And then I said, no, 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 it's not working out. So I want to do comic book stuff because I'm really good at that stuff. And right about that time, Batman Arkham Knight was coming out. So I focused on that, Batman Arkham Knight. I started doing walkthroughs, and it was really intriguing for me just to do that. And then more along the lines, about a couple of years later, Injustice 2 was coming out, which is another DC game. So I started focusing on that. And then I said, look, after I'm done with this walkthroughs, I'm gonna focus on doing news and reporting on DC games. Slow at the moment, like solely strictly DC games. Up until recently, I decided just to focus on everything now, which is movies, TV shows, and games for DC. And I want to try and get as many people as I can put smiles on their faces on all media, basically, because DC is, as we know, is changed from the
Yeah.
origin. So it's like I want to bring smiles to people's faces, whatever content I bring them, whether it's video games, whether it's shows that I do for myself, where I have guests on, and we talk about this week in DC, essentially what James Gunn tweets out or the news that we get within that week, and I just cover all of that. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, I gotta say, it's great to see you covering, DC games. I really like that aspect because, I don't see a lot of that. So it's kind of unique,
Yeah,
in my viewing experience on YouTube, to see somebody covering specifically that, area, which, because we all talk about the movies, we all talk about but not everybody talks about the games. So that's
Yeah,
good.
a lot of people don't talk about the video games because, like, the Batman Arkham series was the big thing going from 2009, well, 2000, yeah, 2009 up to 2015. Then afterwards, it really got to a dry season, pretty much. And then Gotham Knights started to come up, and that was the big thing coming. And now that game is released, I'm still covering that game. And furthermore, there's future games coming out with Suicide Squad, Kill Justice League, and then there's Wonder Woman coming out as well in the next couple of years. So I'm really, really, diving
So
into
so
those.
I guess my question for you is, since you do cover the DC games specifically,
Yeah.
what at the current time is your favorite DC title in terms of the games?
Well, it's hard to choose really for me because
Well, I can tell you mine. I can tell you mine right off the bat. Mine is the first Injustice game.
oh yes, the
I'm a
first
big fan of the first Injustice game. I like Injustice 2, but I love the first Injustice. Like, to me, that game is just, I don't think that game has been topped to this day in terms of the story, just in terms of the fighting mechanics. They made some changes and stuff for Injustice 2. And yeah, Injustice 2 was fun and the graphics were beefed up a little bit better, but to me, the first Injustice just was fantastic, and I don't know. So to this day, that is my favorite current DC game.
yes, and like for me personally, like Batman Arkham City was my game of the year back
Okay.
in 2011.
Hmm.
But for fighting game genre, for me personally, it has to be Injustice One, like you, because there's a lot there that takes
A,
place,
a
and
fantastic story. Like, to me,
yeah,
the story in and of itself was what drove, what got me excited about it. I mean, even,
mm,
and don't get me wrong, Injustice 2 has a great story because it continues off of Injustice. But my thing is, you've a lot of the stuff that they did in Injustice 2, it's like we kind of already seen that with Injustice 1. It seemed like they're kind of continuing to tread along the same lines. But what I did like about Injustice 2 is just the sheer amount of additional characters that
yes,
became available to play as. I mean, because to me, when you're doing, I mean, and you cover the DC game, so you probably know, several years ago when they did Mortal Kombat versus DC for
yes,
the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, I believe were the two
yeah,
consoles at the time.
yeah.
And for me at that time, I thought that game was fantastic. Now, that game got a lot of hate, but I thought that game was pretty cool because ultimately, to have that type of a crossover, DC was only going to let them go so far with the violence level. They weren't going to let Joker, you know, decapitate Superman or anything like that.
Yeah.
You were gonna need to they were gonna need to dial it down. But I actually really liked how they balanced that out. What was your thoughts on Mortal
Well,
Kombat versus DC
more
Universe?
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe was the catapult for Injustice.
Yeah.
That's the basic premise of it. And the fact is, Injustice was actually written by Tom Taylor because he does great Elseworld stories. So like he's done DC's Deceased, Injustice, and he's focusing on uh recently on Son of Kal-El as well for Superman. So I think, but his Elseworld story arcs are amazing, especially Dark Knights of the Steel or whatever it's called. If you know that recently just came out, and I really enjoyed that book as well. So, but for me, Injustice, top tier, first ever game, and I think Mortal Kombat versus DC, literally, like I understood why they didn't go for the fatalities or the all the different stuff that they have in Mortal Kombat. It's basically because WB at the time were like, no, we can't have this in a fighting game, especially for DC
But the
characters.
funny part is, in Mortal Kombat 11,
Yeah.
you get some DC characters
Yes.
that come in and can, so like the Joker can kill people and
Yes.
has actual fatalities and stuff, because and I kind of like the way Mortal Kombat is veering towards allowing these kinds of crossovers and various things with that. And again, it's the same studio, so you're gonna
Yeah.
get a lot of that. You're gonna get a lot of the cross pollination with these characters in these games. So for me, I've been a big fan, and it's kind of like how they kind of rotate, how they go from, they'll do a Mortal Kombat, they'll do an Injustice, they'll do a Mortal Kombat, they'll do an Injustice. And it's kind of, and you got Ed Boon, on Twitter dropping hints about various things, and doing polls about, would you like to see a Marvel versus DC game? Now, I don't know about you, but a Marvel versus DC game done in that fighting style of like Injustice, Injustice 2, I think would be fantastic.
I think, me personally, I think that is a iffy thing. That could be something that they could do in the future, but because they're not going to show anything this year, Ed Boon has already come out and stated that, made a tweet yesterday
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
stating that, look, we're not going to be at the Game Awards this year. We're not ready to announce our game, the next NRS game. I think,
I think it's going to be. I honestly think it's going to be a Mortal Kombat game, because I
yeah,
don't think they're ready to unveil anything new when it comes to DC titles.
yeah, I think,
So it's kind of, I don't know about I mean, because if Ed Boon really wants to do Marvel versus DC, if that's what he wants to do, yeah, you kind of got to wait, and you got to give, because remember, James Gunn is saying that even the video games are going to tie in
yes.
with the movies and stuff. So if that's to be believed, then we have to look at it,
Well,
you
well,
know.
he said that not all games are going to be tied into to the DCU. That's what he said, and
Okay,
so
well,
that means,
that's cool.
so that's cool. So like,
Although, like I've said a long time ago, I think,
yeah,
a Marvel versus DC crossover is again
inevitable.
inevitable, because of James Gunn, because of
Yeah,
who he is, and where he sits, like right in the middle of both studios at this point. So I don't know. I'm optimistic for everything at this point. For new video games, new movies. I mean, I think we're in a good place, and I think we're going to get a lot of. I think we're going to get a lot of greatness in the future. And I know that I'm in the minority right now, because I've been very optimistic, and there's a lot of people, a lot of our mutuals, and a lot of friends who are not very optimistic right now. But I like to look at everything as there's always possibilities, until we know for a fact, until we know definitively that it's going to be a mess, that it's not going to be great, and that James Gunn is messing up, or whoever. I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt to start, because again, we gave all of the other, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, like a lot of people that attack Sil Nation and attack us on on social media, don't realize that the Snyder Cut fandom and all of that, we all gave all of these various regimes a chance. None
yeah,
of us went into it negatively and said, "Oh, they're going to screw up, or they're a-holes, they don't care about us." I mean, I wrote, speaking for myself personally, I wrote letters to both Ann Sarnoff, Walter Hamada,
right,
and we made phone calls. I mean, this is the kind of stuff, what people don't realize is a lot of heart, and a lot of, nobody wants to go into things completely negative. It's like you want to go into it hoping that there's at least some semblance of possibility that you're going to get what you want. And you know, and again, until I see something definitive that says, hey, you're not getting what you want, this is completely opposite of what we want, Personally, I'm of the mind that James Gunn is just trolling people on social media right now. I don't think that he's going to run DC into the ground. I think he has an idea. I think he does have a slate. I think there's going to be something for everybody, kind of like, what Mikey Sutton has been saying.
Yes.
You're going to get bits and pieces of what you want, something for everybody. So I don't know, man. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what you think about DC going forward at this point with what we currently know.
I mean, for me, I think James Gunn, like he said, like he's been vocal on Twitter, with various other people, like saying, look, you know what, we've got a slate. Nobody knows what the case is, but we know, like what Mike has been saying, like members do know what he's been saying. But in terms of James Gunn, I'm prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm prepared to give him a chance because if this slate is God tier, then yeah, that's great news. But if he's wrong, I'm prepared to say, look, bro, we gave you a chance, and you've literally basically said, oh, but I'm doing a Booster Gold film, or I'm going to be doing a um a B list or a C list character that's going to get a movie. I'm like, no, no, no. It needs to be A list characters that need to have it. They're elevated up to the high standards of movie. Like we haven't had a Green Lantern film in well, over a decade. We haven't had a Cyborg film. We're getting a Flash film, but we haven't had some of the other characters like even a. I know we know we got Wonder Woman coming up pretty soon, but as well there's like a new Superman film. We haven't had that in a decade. That's another thing too. And a Batman film. A Batman film, the last Batman film we literally got was BVS. But before that
Yeah,
was Dark Knight.
I saw people kind of getting panicky over the posters for that convention or whatever it was, where
Yeah,
it showed Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman,
yeah.
Aquaman, and when it showed Batman, they had Robert Pattinson and not Ben Affleck,
And
and
my
a lot
my
of people lost their minds over that.
my take on that is simply because the Batman literally came out this year.
Yeah,
That's that's
that's exactly what I thought. You see, and this is the problem that people have. People constantly jump to conclusions over everything. Okay, they know for a fact that Ben Affleck is back because Jason Momoa brought him out and showed us, right? Jason Momoa himself, Aquaman. So
leaked that himself.
so I don't understand why we're still having these conversations about whether or not Ben Affleck is back or not. I get the idea of using uh Robert Pattinson in a poster for the very reason that you just mentioned. And
Mm,
my thing is this, it doesn't really matter because we already know that Robert Pattinson's Batman is outside of the DCU. We already know that. So
yeah,
why are people still, and this is what I don't get, people jump over every little thing now. It's like DC can't post anything without people jumping to massive conclusions, losing their minds, going crazy. I mean, they were even complaining because the picture of Henry Cavill that was used was from like Justice League promotion, but it was from like, theatrical Justice League promotion. So they were
well,
saying Justice League. But the thing is,
what people
Zack
don't
Snyder,
realize
yeah,
is this is Zack Snyder's, like Superman suit. People gotta remember that Michael Wilkinson did the costume design
right.
for all the suits,
I
and
don't get it. I'm just
I
so
think people
uh,
people
yeah.
are people are just like, they don't realize that, look, you know what, there's different, Batman, so to say, and also the fact that, we can have the best of both worlds, right? We can still have people who fans of Robert Pattinson. Like for me, for instance, I'm not a big fan of the Robert Pattinson Batman film because I find it boring. Because I've had a Batman film similar to that, which was Batman Begins, and that tells a more better story. And that's the
Yeah,
way I see it
I agree.
personally.
I agree. I felt like this version of the Batman was like a Christopher Nolan tribute film. And
Yeah.
basically it was done better by Nolan, and you had the producers of that movie saying that they were going to out Nolan, and they basically lied because they didn't succeed. So I don't get it. But some people will swear by this movie. Some people absolutely loved it. I didn't. It wasn't for me. But the funny thing is, I've never gone at anybody for liking it. I've always said, if you like that movie and it's for you and that it's your thing and it speaks to you, that's great. I have no problem with you. What I have a problem with is everybody is all, it seems like the Robert Pattinson Batman fans are always on the defensive. And I think
Yes.
the reason why they're always on the defensive is because they know deep down that that movie was mid. They know it wasn't that great. They know it wasn't good, but they hate Snyder, but they know that this Batman movie was not that great. And they're
And
and they're stuck with it now because they've been kissing Robert Pattinson's butt since he was cast in the role, and now they have nowhere else to go, so they have to
and
keep promoting it.
what's funny enough, what they're gonna do with the Batman 2, because they can't use the script that Chris Wozniak did. Gotta remember that Chris Wozniak did the script for the Batman, which was stolen, if you remember.
Uh-huh, of course, yeah.
And now what are they gonna do? Like they can't. They're not doing
Well, they need to. Well,
meta
here's what
human.
they need to do. Here's what will get me excited for the Batman 2. If they get Chris Wozniak on board to write the script
Yeah.
for the second film, then I'll be excited because I know Chris. He's a good guy, and
Yes.
I would have faith that he would give us a good story. I'd be on board. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, if
Um,
they want, honestly, if that really seriously, that's what it would take. But I know they're not going to do that, and I
yeah.
know that Matt Reeves is probably just going to pirate somebody else's Batman story for the next film. Clearly,
What people don't realize is though that what Christopher Nolan did for Batman literally elevated the character for popularity even further
yes.
than what it was originally.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, you had Batman Year One told literally in a film form in Batman Begins, and then in the Dark Knight, it was literally a mixture of I would say mm, Joker and Batman's first confrontation, and you also have Two Faces. I would say something from the animated series introduction. Of Two Face, something like that, where it
Yeah,
was.
I don't know if the rumors are true because from what I heard, it sounds like they want to use Clayface for this next film, which to me would be really bizarre.
It wouldn't work out for them because their movie is grounded. It can't
That's
they
what I
can't use.
thought. So why would they want to use a character who's clearly not grounded in reality? Unless they use the what was his name? The animated series version,
Mhm.
Daggett, where he's like where he's an actor and he's using
It'd be,
almost like a magic goop to make himself like a fountain of youth kind of a thing.
yeah, it'd be too much money for them. I'll be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I think what they should do instead of Clayface is to have maybe um uh Mad Hatter, or even introduce like Prometheus, who is a grounded character, or even introduce the Court of Owls, because those types of villainous, villains would work in a grounded Batman film. That's the way I feel. I mean, they've just done the Court of Owls and Gotham Knights as an example, and it did work out. So if you guys haven't played the game, I would recommend you guys playing the story,
Yeah,
particularly the film.
I think that and that's where I'm at too, because I kind of felt like that movie, the Matt Reeves Batman, was going for
Mm,
Court of Owls, was setting up Court of Owls, and then they didn't do it. And again, if because if you just mentioned the Telltale games, right? You're talking about the Telltale games that kind of that did that storyline.
No, Gotham Knights did the Court of Owls
Gotham
story.
Knights did the storyline. Yeah. The Telltale games touched on it too.
Mhm.
Um, a little bit in the first
In the
game,
first in the
and they
first game they touched on it, but they didn't really dive into it
but they
because
but they touched on it very similar. They touched on it similarly to the way that Matt Reeves kind of touched on it. It's like he
yes.
touched on it, but then he didn't follow through. And I felt like
Mhm.
if he would have followed through, it probably would have been a much better movie because I think that's what everybody wanted to see. I mean, I know as a Batman fan, that's what I wanted to see. And the truth is, I think that Court of Owls could work very, very well with Matt Reeves' storytelling. I mean, no lie. I think for that grounded Batman that he's trying to do, and he's trying to out Nolan, Court of Owls would be the storyline. That's just
Yeah.
me personally. I think that's the
I think I
direction
think
they could go.
I think because the way I see it, Patterson's Batman is a new 52 type of thing.
Yeah,
I think the Court of Owls is the best way going forward. I think it
sure.
has to be that.
Yeah,
I think
I don't know. I can't see Clayface. I don't want them to do Mr. Freeze. I'd prefer, again, if they're going to continue with Matt Reeves, I'm with you 100%. Court of Owls is the best direction. Sean Franklin here is asking, have you seen Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer? I have not watched the trailer yet.
I
Have you?
have I've watched the trailer and I'd say it's a really good trailer and looking
Okay.
forward to that. I'm looking forward to that film for
I've
sure.
been kind of, because I've been kind of out of the loop on the Transformers movies. I think I stopped after like the first four, and I just
Yeah,
kind
I
of did. I
understand.
just didn't really. I wasn't
Well,
really
this one
interested in looking back. So
well, this one is very, very good.
okay, cool. I'll have to check out the trailer because I haven't looked at it. And Integrity 101 says Zach is back, and he will. Oh, of course. Of
Of course,
course.
and
Bat Dan's thought says, I want James Gunn to succeed, but I have my concerns. Say no to Batmite. You know what? At this point, I think that James Gunn can make. I'll say this: if he brings back Zack Snyder and lets Zack Snyder finish telling the stories that he wants to tell, meaning a la Justice League 2 and 3, he could do a Batmite quadrilogy if he wants. I don't care.
yeah,
Same thing with the Weasel. He could do the Weasel trilogy of movies. He could give Weasel his own TV show. I
I
don't
think
care at this point.
I think the Batman thing is just a little fun he's having. I don't think it's a big serious thing. I think that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think he's just trolling with people, to be honest with you. Like, I think because he knows that if here's the thing: if the
Mm,
Snyderverse, and this is just me speculating here. I get in trouble when I speculate, so I try not to speculate too much. But
yeah, I
here's the thing: when it comes to, let's just say, the Snyderverse is canon, right? If the Snyderverse is canon, a character like Batmite isn't going to fit in the Snyderverse. It's not going to fit. You can't shoehorn a character like Batmite into the Snyderverse. It just won't work. So
exactly.
at some point, you have to ask yourself, is James Gunn going for, if he's going for an all inclusive DC? And this is where I've come to realize two things. One, uh, James Gunn is obviously going to do a DC that is all inclusive. So if he's doing a DC that's all inclusive, it's not going to be fully Snyderverse. There's going to be Snyderverse elements combined with whatever other DC elements James Gunn wants to put in there. So, yeah, you would have Henry Cavill Superman, you'd have Ben Affleck Batman, Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, la la la. But then you would also have characters like the Peacemaker characters and Batmite, and that's how those characters would fit in. There's no way it could be a full-on continuation of the Snyderverse in that way if they're going to introduce those characters, because those
I mean,
characters wouldn't fit.
I mean, Batmite could be done in animation format though, because you got to remember, animation is going to be part of the
That,
DCU,
that's a
and
beautiful point. That's another thing too. So maybe you'd get your Batmite in animation.
a really dark tone animation, because you got to remember as well. There's a rumor going around that Amazon and the WBD are
Yeah,
doing a
it looks
deal.
like that deal. It looks like that deal actually. I think I saw an article today that that deal went through. I don't know if that's true, if that's confirmed, but I think I seen something today where they said it would confirm. I'm trying to see if I can go to the article that I saw, but you're right about the Amazon thing. So yeah, I mean, again, that's where a lot of those characters could fit too, animation, because we're sitting here thinking about like live action, and maybe the live action would be more serious in tone, and then the animation could be more silly, but I don't know.
I mean, animation, they can still do dark and gritty. I mean, they've done darker films before, like especially with the Dark Knight Returns film in animation. That was really done well by J. Olivia, um, who did
Yeah,
the Dark Knight film and Dark Knight Returns film, I should say,
yeah.
and also Batman Gotham Knights, which is also like a six short films put into one,
Hmm.
and that was also really good, really well told. So I think that I think they could do it like a really toned down, like it doesn't have to be family friendly. It can be done in that format. I've seen it done with um another form of media, not with DC, but with other publishers, not publishers. You know what I mean. Like as an example, Boom Studios do Power Rangers. They made a dark tone Power Rangers character, Tommy Oliver, and turned him twist it, made a twist on it, and made him evil, super super evil, where he has
Well,
two.
Tommy did start off evil on the actual Power Rangers TV show.
Yeah,
So they
but the,
just so they just amped it up by like 1,000 when they did their evil comic book character version. Yeah.
yeah, but they made it in such a dark way that in the comic book it was really done well. Where I think DC can do that in a dark tone, but they can make it in animation
So
format. I
you're
mean,
talking about you're talking about Batmite being a dark having a dark tone.
yeah, just imagine, right? It would fit James Gunn's portfolio, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. James Gunn can do it. I have no doubt that he can. Like I said, like I joked a while ago about him possibly doing a Weasel TV series or a
Yeah.
Weasel trilogy. I listen. I could see him doing that because that's his forte. That's his style of humor. And if that's what he wants to do as head of DC, he has the power to make those kinds of things happen. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions, what's up, man? He says, just wanted to say hi and tell you I am rooting for your book, Zod. Well, I got to tell you, Chubby, that means more to me than you know, because I've been getting a lot of negative pushback about my book. I'm to the point with my book where I'm just writing it now and I'm not even bothering to update anybody or talk about it. I'm just going to finish the book, and when the book is done, the book will speak for itself. And if people want to hate on it, that's fine. Once it's published, I don't care. I'm at the point now where it's like I can't even, you know, I can't post anything, because when I post stuff about the book, I get dogpiled. I get attacked constantly, and it's been so negative. And Chubby, you have no idea how positive of a book I'm trying to write. I am not writing a negative book. I am not going at anybody negatively. I am trying to tell a a story of what really happened. I'm trying to give factual information. I'm actually interviewing and getting quotes from people who were there at the time. The book is going to be a legit factual archived piece. And I think people are really going to be surprised with what they see. But it is not a negative book at all. And for me, for all the negativity that I've been receiving, when I get comments like this about, people like you rooting for the book, I'm so humbled, and it just feels good, and it makes me feel good inside to know that there are people that actually care about the book I'm trying to write, because
Yeah.
I've been feeling so literally I've been depressed about it, to tell you the truth. I feel like, by and large, most people don't care, and they just want to dog pile on it and crap on anything because they don't like me. So
And
I'm so
and
I'm trying. So hopefully the book will continue to write itself, and when it's all done, I hope you guys are gonna love it. I'm trying to do the best book I could possibly do.
I mean, I also want to add as well to this, right? People shouldn't judge your book because they haven't read what you said, right? That's something as well. If you guys are gonna judge ZodWriter on what he's doing, don't judge it. You haven't even read the book yet. Wait until the book comes out.
Yeah,
Then,
they're not gonna read the book. They're gonna try. I was getting here's the thing. When I announced, okay, that the book that I was writing the book, not even 2 days later, I had people making YouTube videos
oh
making
yeah,
fun of the book, coming up with fake titles. I had people reporting on the fake titles about the book. I'm like, what is this? It was like, and this was before I had a title for the book. I didn't even have a title at the time. It's like I've gone through so much stress and negativity with regard to the book. That's why I said one of two things have got to happen. I've got to either stop talking about the book on social media, or I got to quit the project altogether, because it's not good. It has not been good. It has not been a good experience for my mental health. So
yes,
words to everybody out there, anybody out there, if you are a writer, or you're doing a passion project, and in my case it's writing this book, if it's something you really want to do not listen to haters. Don't post about it on social media. Stay away from all of that and just focus on what you're doing. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on getting your project out there, because at the end of the day, your work is going to speak for itself. And that's what you just said, what people should be looking at and what people should be judging. I don't care if you read the book and you want to trash the book afterwards and say, Zod, that was crap. I didn't like it. I didn't agree with anything that you said in this book. I didn't agree with the people you interviewed. That's your prerogative. Everybody has their right to judge something. It's all subjective. That's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. The problem I have is all the attacks I was getting
yeah,
whenever I would
yeah.
post anything with regards to the book. I couldn't even post, like, I think I posted a couple of quotes that I got for the book, and I got dogpiled so much. And
Oh yeah,
it was just kind of like, my God, you guys, you guys have no idea. You think I give you two quotes from the book and you're jumping down my throat. You guys haven't seen anything yet. You have no idea what you're going to see. And I guarantee you that a lot of these people that have been coming after me and have been attacking everything that I'm saying have no idea what I'm going to write. They have no intention of reading the book. And when they actually do, when the book actually does come out, they're not gonna read it anyway.
yeah.
They're gonna
Because
find ways to crap on it without reading it.
there's two things, because you're part of the Sil Nation, and because you know Sil very well and Mikey. And that's what it comes down to. And the way I see it is, if you haters are hating a what's it called, a YouTuber or a streamer, and you're like, oh, because he's part of the Sil Nation, or he knows Mikey and Sil. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, it doesn't make you look macho. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't make you look good, because it makes you look really bad. You set a poor example for your viewers or to your followers, and you don't want that. And
And the funny part for me is that this book that I'm writing literally has nothing to do with Sil Nation. This book is not
exactly,
even about that. So I don't. So for me, I've never understood, any of the. It's like I don't even remember when Sean O'Connell was writing his book about Release the Snyder Cut, I don't ever remember him getting this amount of pushback before the book came out. He started getting pushback because of the things that he was saying while he was doing the book. He was saying controversial things, ticking
Right.
people off, and then he was taking sides and doing all these things. But I don't ever remember him getting any real pushback with regards to the actual book until the book came out.
And
And
the way
and
I see it is like, you've got my support regard because your book, it's a passion project, and I like people who do passion projects and who like to take their time and want to work on this project really well, right? And that's the way I see it. And people shouldn't be pushing you back for your project. People shouldn't be doing stuff like that, right? If and to those haters, here's my thing to you guys, right? If you don't mind me saying stuff like this, right? So hopefully,
oh no,
um,
not at all.
I was gonna say to all your haters out there that's attacking Zod, and just because he's doing a book, let him do his thing. You don't focus on him, what he's doing, right? If you do that, you're setting a bad example. Not only that, you set you really just make yourself look bad. Like me, for example, I never go to these haters, you know, YouTube page and say, look,
Yeah,
hey,
it's a very common thread
you,
here. Like, yeah,
yeah,
we don't go out at the on these haters threads and start injecting our views on what they do and what they believe. And like I said, I Eve, there's people out there that I don't like, that I don't agree with, and that's fine. But I will tell you this, as much as I don't like, for example, there's so many people I don't agree with, but let's just, for the sake of argument, let's use Enosh as an example.
yeah,
If I have an issue with Enosh, right?
hmm
If Enosh announced tomorrow that he was working on a film, or he was working on a book, or he was working on an album, I would be supportive of that, because that's a creative endeavor. That's something
passionate
that you're
about.
passionate about, regardless of what my personal feelings towards you as a person. Because you and I have issues or whatever, regardless of how of that, I would still be supportive of your project, because I believe in creativity, and I believe in allowing people to express themselves through their creativity. So I would be 100% in support of whatever you're doing creatively, because that's something that you're putting your time and effort and energy and your talent into, and I have no reason to judge you based on that. I can say, okay, I'm going to wait till his album comes out and listen to his album. And if I don't like his album, then I can be critical. So that's how I feel about it. It's ridiculous.
Like as an example, right? I remember I went to your thread and I told one of the haters straight up, said, look, focus on you and don't focus on anybody else, right? Focus on what your content and your content only. What does he do? He blocks me just because of me saying that, right? And I'm just like, bro,
Are you there? I think you froze. I think we lost you.
what second back?
Oh wait, there you go. You're
There we
back.
go. So as I was saying, sorry about that. It's probably the internet.
No, no problem.
As I was saying, like a hater that I put in your thread, I was like, yo, stop this. Focus on your content. Don't focus on anybody else, right?
Yep.
And
hmm
the fact is, he blocked me because of it. And I'm just like, really? You're just gonna block me because of the
I,
fact that I just told you the truth?
my
And
thing is I expect, and here's the thing, man. I expect to have haters. We should all expect to have haters, because whenever you are a content creator or whatever, whenever you speak your mind and you don't care what other people think, you just tell it how it is to you, you're gonna have haters no matter what you do. And again, I have no problem with that. I just feel like, let the content speak for itself. Like, I have no problem with people who come at me for something that I said in a live stream, or if they want to say, or they want to cherry pick things, because people have done that to me before. And while I felt like some of it was unfair, I understand that people have reasons to be critical, and our people are allowed to be critical. And I
Yeah.
have no issues with that whatsoever. But when it comes to something like this, where it's a project that is in development, that is not done yet, you have not read it, you do not know what the context is, and you're sitting there making all of attacking it to the point where it's you're going at something you know nothing about. So that's just, that to me is the pinnacle of ignorance. Until you have it in your hands and until you can actually read it for yourself and know the context of what is being said, you shouldn't be speaking on it at all. You shouldn't attack it, shouldn't have any opinion whatsoever.
I mean, for me, for example, right, I've done my truthful, honest review for Gotham Knights. I did some fair points, some good points, and I did some bad points. And that was a truthful and honest review for the game. And I did get some backlash. Some of my friends were just like, "Why are you using this footage? Why aren't you using your own gameplay?" I'm like, "Because editing would have taken me a long time." And you know how long editing is these days. With especially when it comes down to putting compiling all these different clips that you want to put into a video. I was just like, I didn't have the time, so I said I'll just put what they have already out there in the public audience, and I'll just put it into one thing. And I'll be honest with you, what you're doing, I believe in your book that I think it'll be successful, right? And I don't think what people should be doing is right, which is
Well, no,
bashing on you.
and what I love, my favorite criticism was the book was called, when they called the book a grift, referred to it as a grift. And my question was, how could the book be a grift when I'm going to be making it available for free to everybody worldwide? I'm not even going to be selling the book. I'm not trying to make a profit off of the book. So how is it a grift? I don't know. I don't think these people know what the word grift really means, because if you're calling something a grift, that means that someone is benefiting monetarily from from basically lying and ripping off other people. That's what a grift is. So if I'm writing a book, putting all this time and effort and energy into it, and I'm releasing it for free, how is it a grift? If anything, it's almost like it really it must be a passion project, and it must be something that's important if I'm going in that direction. Here's another point I'll make about the book, since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I want to, if the book is successful and enough people are interested in it, I do want to do a low print run of it, because I want to do hardcovers, and then it will be, they'll be, obviously if it goes to physical print, there'll be some monetary gain from it, and I want all the monetary proceeds to go directly to AFSP. And
Yes,
that
of
was
course.
something else that I was thinking about too. So my question is, that was my whole question to all of these haters and all of these people. How is that a grift? I don't know. I haven't really,
It's
I can't
it's
really
not a grift.
comprehend it. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a grift. What you're doing is you're once you do the monetary stuff, right? You're gonna give it to a charity, which I think is a really noble cause, right? And that's the way I see it, right? And people might hate me for what I'm saying. I don't like. I understand if you hate me for what I'm saying about what I'm doing and whatnot. I understand, but at least I'm telling you the honest truth. I ain't gonna be like hiding away and bullshitting myself. That's something I'm not. I'm never a bullshitter. I'm telling you guys straight to your faces. Now look, stuff like what Zod is doing is a passion project for him. People shouldn't be bashing on what he's doing. People shouldn't be doing like, oh, you're this, you're that. Let him do his thing. And once the book is out, then you can say, look, hey, this thing is wrong, this was wrong, or this was right, this was wrong, and then you can say it. But calling you grifter off the bat is totally wrong, totally wrong, and it's morally wrong as well, because you set a bad example for people.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where you get the idea of it being a grift. I'll never understand that. But Bat Dan's thought says, how would you guys feel about James Gunn bringing Taika Waititi
No,
to DC?
No. That guy isn't
Well,
a DC
maybe they're gonna
material.
bring Taika Waititi to DC to do the Weasel trilogy. That's a possibility.
Maybe, but I don't think Taika Waititi is DC material.
Oh,
That's
I
a fact.
don't either, but I think a Weasel trilogy could work with his style of humor because he has a very perverse sense of humor as well. Integrity 101 says critical thinking is dead. I completely agree. Integrity says Cavill and Affleck are back. What else do people need to see in order to wake the F up already? I don't know what people need to see. Integrity. The clues are out there. The truth is out there. So many people, it's like it doesn't matter. Like, think of all the stuff that we're hearing and seeing right now with regards to Henry Cavill. I literally read an article today where they were talking about Henry Cavill being replaced.
It
It's
mind
insane.
boggles me. It's mind boggling that people don't realize that. Look, Cavill, not Cavill, Affleck was leaked out by the actor Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Literally, the actor of Aquaman leaked it out, and he got in trouble for doing that. I'm pretty sure by Warner Brothers, right? And we knew because Sills leaked it out a day before, right? So it's like I'm just saying, you guys, people who think, oh, Affleck isn't back, I'm just like, nah, you guys are so dumb. Cavill is back because I mean, he made a post on Instagram as well, saying that look, there's more to come. You've just seen a little bit of taste. So I'm just like, yes, this has made me happy and excited
Well,
because
and that's the other thing. Cavill made that announcement himself. So for people to assume that Cavill's being replaced or Cavill's not going to play Superman anymore, you've got to be completely on another level of stupid at this point.
mhm,
Because Cavill hadn't said nothing. Cavill had been completely quiet for all this time and didn't say anything until Black Adam. And then he
yeah,
made the announcement. So obviously, he signed on for more than just the Black Adam cameo. And for people
agreed.
to just assume he's going to be recast, he's going to be replaced. People are saying that Affleck is being replaced with Pattinson. I mean, we're seeing the same narratives over and over and over by the same people who got everything wrong before, by the same people who are telling us that Cavill was never coming back. The same people who told us that the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. There's so many things that you can look at historically, and that's one more side note about my book. That's one other thing that you know a lot of people are going to be, your eyes are going to be opened up in different ways when you read this book, because a lot of people are not going to a lot of people don't realize just how ridiculous all of this stuff is. You have mountains of evidence to support certain claims, and then there's this thing that, like, Integrity likes to talk about, common sense, which isn't so common anymore. It's like, how much more evidence do you need when you've got Superman himself coming out telling you that he's back, and he literally tells you that Black Adam is just a taste, to let you know that he's going to be doing a lot more. And
I
then to top it off, he quits The Witcher, as if there wasn't, you needed any more clear cut evidence that he is back as Superman.
it's not only because the fact that he's doing Superman, but that gives him more time to flesh out his Superman arc because they've got a producer. They've got a
It's so
producer
frustrating.
for the Superman film, the next Superman film, I should say. They've got a producer, Charles Roven, who's a great producer, and now it's like, okay, well, what we need is a really good director and a great um story writer. I think Henry Cavill could be a great story writer, to be honest with you, just like Christopher Reeve did. Like,
Yeah. think
I mean,
I think you're right. I think at this point, uh, you know what? At this point, anything we get with Henry Cavill as Superman, I'll be happy with, because
Mm,
we've waited so long for him to come back to the character and for him to make the announcement personally himself. It's, I just don't get it. Like, I'm not understanding what the issues are. It's like, obviously, you know, he wouldn't come out unless he was serious. You know,
yeah.
I don't. It's so weird to me.
For,
I don't know.
for me at least, I'm excited for the future of DC anyway, regardless for Batman and Superman, because those are my two top DC characters. I've always looked up to Superman as he was the inspiration for me. That's something that I've always said, because like his hope and inspiration was like I've always hoped, because fun fact about me, because I have a disability, I wasn't able to walk and talk for such a long time, but um, Superman was my inspiration to basically say, never give up. You have that hope to at least be able to achieve things in life, and that's what happened. I'm able to achieve things thanks to Superman's inspiration and Batman's, never say die attitude, and that's the big thing for me.
That's great. That is amazing. A wonderful inspirational thing to talk about. Thank you for sharing that. And Bat Dan's thought says, with DC doing this shared universe, I rather they just focus on Affleck at this point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And all the people that are sitting here saying, "Oh, Pattinson is going to replace Affleck," it's just like, are you kidding me? What more proof do you need? Okay, you know what? I seriously want to see what happens when Affleck is the main DCU Batman moving forward, and Pattinson doesn't replace. It's funny how all these people can say all of these things, and then they get absolutely no blowback when they're wrong. Okay, but Sil and Mikey can get win after win after win and get attacked no matter what happens. I'll never understand it. It's frustrating to me.
Yeah, it's the fact. The matter of fact is that people don't realize that. Look, Affleck is back, and he's back. He's in a good mental health. He's a really good mental health state as well, because after Justice League, he wasn't himself. We know that, but now he's in a good place, and he's gonna come back, and he's gonna do some great work with DC. That we know for a fact.
Yep, exactly. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. I'm struggling with this. This is a big thing at this point. I don't know, what we're dealing with here with these people. But hey, we're gonna find out soon enough, aren't we? Because at the end
Yeah,
of the day, uh, you know, when the new slate is unveiled, we'll have a better idea of what's happening. Bat Dance Thought says Basil Carlo is the first Clayface who is an actor. Matt Hagen is the second Clayface. Batman the Animated Series used Matt Hagen, but gave him Basil Carlo's origin. Okay, well, thank you for clearing that up, Bat Dan. Sosa fam, bam, bam. What's up, Sosa? Says Zod, you are the man. No, Sosa, you are the man. Thank you so much for being here. Sox Bulletin says, let Matt Reeves have the Batman 2 for the Batman 2, the ventriloquist. I am very proud of Zod for writing the book. The man is doing something that's a good thing. I don't understand the hate Zod gets. It's sad. Well, thank you again, Sox, and thank you to everybody, again, for supporting me and supporting me in this project, because it helps keep me going, knowing that people actually care and people actually do want to read this book. Because like I said, it's been very difficult with all the negativity. I've got, and then this is the thing. This is why, again, my social media presence as of late has been quite limited, because I just don't want to interact with people anymore. I'm so frustrated that it's
I
hard. So
understand.
I've just gotten to the point where I would rather, I'd rather not even discuss anything, because it's
No,
just easier.
I,
I mean,
yeah, I understand because mental health, it wouldn't be good for your mental health state. So I understand
well,
fully.
especially when I'm trying to write something positive.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
if I wanted to be an a-hole, I could do a negative I could do a negative book. God knows, I got a lot of people who hate me, and I could write about them, and I could put them in the book if I really wanted to. I could change the title from Pause Not Stop to, and I could just call the book Welcome to Bizarro World, and just talk about all the hatred and negativity that I saw was that was in the fandom, and I could really make it a negative book. And see, that's the thing. People are, they don't realize that when you're trying to write something positive and all you're getting is negative reinforcement, it changes your whole perspective. It ages you, because you're trying so hard to focus on the good, and you want to, like, I want to do everybody right. I want everybody who reads the book to come away from the book feeling good, come away from it feeling like, you know what, this was a good read. Zod was fair to everybody. He didn't attack these people over here, even though he disagrees with them, and he didn't overly hype up these people over here just because he's friends with them. He was balanced and unbiased, and therefore it was a good book. And again, that's what I'm going for. I'm not going to be hateful or mean or brutal towards anybody. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's what people want. They want to instill that negative anger in me so that I will turn around and respond to them in a negative way, and then include them in the book, and basically flip it and give them all that negativity back. And that's not what I'm interested in doing. Social media sucks. People feel safe behind a computer screen. You're doing great work, ZodWriter. F the haters. Thank you, Bat Dan. Bat Dan says you have to be a loser to focus on other people's content. Yeah, I've never been able to understand that either. It's like we all are content creators, and we all have a role to play.
Yes.
And I don't really, and to me, contrary to what people believe, I don't like being on streams where I'm on a stream with somebody for 5 hours and it's all negativity and it's all hatred and anger and just cracking on people for 5 hours. That's not
See,
what, you know,
yeah,
that's not the kind of content I want to make. I mean,
for me personally, I'm a positive person. I never look at the negative side. I never look at the negative side of things. I'm always a positive person because I always believe there should be positive in people, and that's what people should be, not negative. Because if people do negative stuff, it would impact your mental health, and it impacts your life, personal life, really. And that's what people got to realize.
yeah, it does. It affects you. It really does. It makes you. It really puts. It ages. I swear to God, negativity ages people. There's nothing
Yeah.
that ages you faster than negative reinforcement constantly being injected into your brain through just horrible people. It is ridiculous. And Bat Dan saying hello to Savage Bat. Let's see. Savage Bat
Yes.
says God is going to sit this one out. Yes, sir. And shameless plug, Savage Bat and I, you'll be able to catch us tomorrow on the Bat and the Kryptonian. I'm looking
Or
forward to that
later
as
today,
always.
if you're in the UK.
Later today for you if you're in the UK. Yeah. I still
Yes.
can't believe you're up this late, man. I
I'm
don't
a
know
midnight
how I don't
cowboy.
know
No,
how you
I
do it. I don't know how
no,
you and Savage Bat do it. I really don't. You guys are on a whole nother
we're
level,
just
man.
we're on another level. We're just like up there. So
And
what's up,
the
Sky?
Batman says they just want to have something to complain about. Unfortunately, it's the difference between mature adults and the children. Absolutely. Just because you don't believe just because you believe in God doesn't mean you can go around treating people like shit. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta have higher standards, and you gotta be able to to be able to be better, if that's what if that's what you're about, if that's the position that you're taking. The Savage Bat says, if this book is good, I will donate all the hair on my head to Zod. Yeah, no hair, Zod. Thank you, Savage Bat. The Bat Channel is here. What's up, Bat Channel? Great to see you.
My
Smash
channel,
that like and subscribe. I'm so glad to see you guys here. You guys are starting to filter in
Sky
from
Stream.
Skywalker stream. Um,
Yep. Welcome all. Welcome.
I'm just sorry that I'm just sorry that it's so late, guys. Because really, it's one of those things. Like, if it was, I was talking to Taladia before the stream, and I was saying that had I known, we could have did this
Earlier.
several hours earlier, because I know it's late night Q&A, but we could have did it a little bit earlier. This way, we wouldn't have had
But I
any
don't mind.
issue.
But I don't mind staying up for you. I've
Oh
already
well,
said that.
I appreciate this. I appreciate this so much that you're here. It's crazy to me. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys are superhuman that you're able
Because
to.
I sleep. I'm on American hours. Would you believe? I sleep
Yeah,
4 days.
you and Savage Bat, you guys both have that same clock. You guys share that clock. I don't. That's crazy to me. That's amazing stuff, though. Let's see. And the Bad Channel says, long day of packing up the house to move into the apartment tomorrow. So tired. Wow. Again, you guys, I guess, you and me, man, we're gonna have to do like a part two or something, man.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
I'm seeing all these,
We
tired
got.
people in the chat. I'm like, hey,
I mean, we've got Skywalkers in the chat. We've got retro nerd girls in the chat. We've got everybody's in the chat now, and it's great to see that.
always. It's always great and awesome. And Skywalker, I'm gonna have to go, and I'm gonna have to check out the stream you just did on the replay. Of course, I'll be joining the
Yes,
replay crew for that one, because I
same
definitely
here.
want to check out your stream. I hate missing Cool Table streams. I hate missing any Sil Nation streams. Like I said at the top of the show, we're all one big happy family, and we're all one big happy community. And to me, it's like, man, I don't want to miss nothing. I'm like, I want to see everybody's streams. It's one of those things.
I and we want to see everyone grow and succeed on YouTube.
Absolutely. It's
That's
the
what.
most beautiful stuff in the
And
world.
you know what? We just got a special VIP in the chat, and it's all down to the man himself from the moon, Meta Mikey Sutton.
Absolutely. Mikey Sutton is here in the chat. What's up, Mikey? Good to see you. It's so great to see you, as always, Retro Nerd Girl. I'm absolutely loving the content that you're putting out, Retro Nerd Girl. And
Yeah.
I'm still getting, and to this day, I'm still getting comments on the late night Q&A that you and I did together, Retro Nerd Girl. People really enjoyed that, and want to see more. Would like to see us collaborate again in the future. So I'm hoping that we can do that again at some point. Um, and it's great to have Super Bro Corey here as well. Oh my God, you guys! I love the fact that everybody is here now. It's definitely a.
It's
It's
a
de-
it's a great thing. We got a community here. That's what it's
yeah.
all about.
It is. It's a beautiful community. And like I said, there's never been, I don't think there's ever been anything quite like this in terms of what we're trying to build with Sil Nation. Because when you look
Yeah.
at Sil Nation, and you look at the Cool Table, and you look at all of us trying to come together and do all these collaborative streams and stuff, it's very beautiful, because it just goes to show you, the reach, and it just goes to show how many people actually care and love all of this stuff, and we're all like-minded people, and it's amazing. It's great stuff.
Yes. And don't mind me saying this, right? I would like to plug also Mikey Sutton's book, Dreamwalker. Make sure you guys get that
Oh
book,
my
please.
God, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about Dreamwalker. The second issue is
Yes.
available now, and of course there
Get it.
are there are variants of the second issue available as well. So you're going to definitely want to get this over at secondskincomics.com. And I think I
You're
mean,
welcome,
for
Mikey.
a chance to win those, hand drawn um, sketch from Noel Leon Flores, and I mean, just for that alone, it's worth buying the second issue again. I got to be honest with you.
And you guys,
There is a village in the UK named after my
Jersey?
last name,
I've never
Kersey.
been
Have
there.
you ever been there?
No,
Okay.
I've never been there. No.
Let's see. Sock says I was stressing out bad. I was watching both Zod and Sky's streams at the same time. Yeah, I never want you guys to have to go through that. That's why I say I feel like we all
Yeah.
need to start coordinating with each other so we know
We should make
more. When, like Dan said, we need to do like a spreadsheet. Like we need to do like a color coded chart.
I got a better idea. Group chat. Why don't we make a Still Nation group chat for all the content creators and have them in a group on Twitter or whether it's on a thing that would be. Oh my God, Mikey! No way! Oh no, Mikey's just said that I'm going to be added to the comic.
Yeah, he said you're going to be added to the comic, which let's be honest, if you're added to the comic, comic, you're immortalized. You know, Mikey is immortalizing all of us by having us in this Dreamwalker comic. It's a beautiful thing.
I have no words, Mikey. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough because it's crazy to think.
Yeah, it is. And you know, and see, now you know how we all felt when Mikey told us we were in the comic. Being part of the comic is huge. Like once Mikey drops that on you, your life is forever changed because you realize just how monumental Dreamwalker is. And I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. This is one of the greatest comic book series of all time, and right now it only has 2 issues. Okay.
And funnily enough, this is Mikey's passion project too. We got to remember
once again, the main theme of passion projects. Yes,
it's a passion project. People don't realize Mikey's not only does his stuff for Geekosity, but he's a comic book writer.
That's right.
So people got to realize that. And you know what? Mikey is a great person. I've spoken to him on Facebook Messenger. I've got his back regardless. No matter what, he knows I've got his back. Him and what's it called? Still's back.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And yes, Jade, I have seen the Cocaine Bear trailer. Have you, Teladi?
No, I have not seen that trailer though.
Oh God. It looks like it's going to be absolutely insane. What's up, Lucas? Good to see you. Let's see.
We got Mikey.
The bad I'm moving tomorrow. Yeah, everybody's got a lot going on here, obviously, in the chat. I'm wide awake. Got Zack Snyder's Justice League playing in the background. Best way to be. Of course, Mikey in the chat. I mean, it goes without saying. Mikey's awesome. This is fantastic.
He's a legend in my book.
Yeah, and Retro says, "Me too. I want to catch everyone's content. I want to support my friends." Exactly. This is what we do. We all support each other. And there's a lot of communities out there where they say they support each other, but they don't really support each other. It's so funny to me. It's like I've seen it, and I'm like, wow, y'all don't really support each other at all, do you?
I go to, I mean, because Skywalker's stream is also late for me, I always catch on the replay. That is a guarantee, right? I'm always watching that on the replay.
I find myself catching a lot of replays now too, because just because of time constraints and various things, because we've all got busy lives, and it's funny because again, you try to catch everything when if at all possible, and I love it. Like Skywalker and the Cool Table, they did the stream right before the American Thanksgiving holiday, and I was watching their stream, and I was just rolling, laughing along with them as though it was live, and I was literally laughing out loud quite a few times. Uh, with you guys, you got the Cool Table. They do some great streams
Agreed.
together.
I mean, Austin's a great person as well. The good
Oh yeah,
Austin.
oh
I mean, I
absolutely.
even watch Rhea. Rhea when she streams, I go to Rhea stream
I
as well.
try to catch Rhea, but I end up missing Rhea a lot because Rhea streams during the day, and
Yeah, and I'm able to.
I tend to be working during the day, so I'm not
Yeah,
really available. So it's hard for me to catch a lot of her streams, but that's what she's been doing a lot lately, where she'll stream a lot during the day and she'll just be playing different video games. And sometimes it's cool because it'd be nice to be able to catch her stuff, but I don't always catch it. But sometimes I'll even watch the replays of her stuff
yeah,
too
yeah.
if I can catch it. And we got the Savage Bat here, a 10-pound super chat. If I had known Teladia was disabled, I would have invited him to join the dork side earlier. Ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
interesting,
All right.
interesting, interesting. I might have to reconsider that Savage Bat. I'll reconsider it. Yeah, I'll reconsider.
What are you considering? You were asked to join and you didn't, or you haven't
No,
been
I
asked
wasn't.
yet, or
I haven't been asked yet. I mean, I think you asked me earlier, but I said he asked me uh if I would join, but I said no. I've thought about it. I was like no, but I probably might. I might go on your side, Savage Bat. Just saying.
all right. Well, thank you very much, Savage Bat, for the super chat. Always appreciated. And Mikey Sutton says Tim Burton took my song. We think alike. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Hashtag
Dreamwalker.
Dreamwalker. Love all things Dreamwalker. Dreamwalker is amazing. Hashtag Dreamwalker. And here's the
Yeah.
magic statement
Comment.
from the great Mikey Sutton. I'm going to pin that comment because
Yeah.
you have been inducted into the Dreamwalker alum now because Mikey has added you to the comic. So I want to go ahead and find that so that I can add it to
It's.
the.
I'm lost for words because I never thought I'd be in a comic. Never mind. Never mind even talking to you guys. I never thought I'd meet great people like you guys. You guys are probably uh really cool people, really genuine too. I have to say that. Like, if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know where I would be. Like especially on the spectrum on YouTube.
I gotta say this honestly, man. You're a great person. You're really awesome. It's been amazing getting to know you as it has all these other wonderful people that we're all associated with. And I can honestly say what's so fun about all of this is it seems like we all are connecting for a reason, and it's for a positive reason. It's not for a negative thing. It's because we're all good people and we all deserve to be around good people. And I think that that's the bottom line. I mean, you really have to look at it like you're drawn to the types of people based off of the kind of person that you are. So if you're a good person, you're going to be drawn to good people, and those good people are going to be drawn to you. It's just kind of like the natural order of things. And I think it's beautiful. I love it.
It's amazing. I mean, Mikey. By the way, Mikey, thank you for what you described as my character. He says I'm the computer expert on the team, master hacker.
There you go.
So I don't know. I have to thank you again, Mikey. And uh, I'm lost for words. That's the best way to say it. I'm lost for words.
Mikey loves getting people's reactions. That's one of the things that Mikey really likes. You see the way Mikey likes to drop stuff for people in
Yeah,
their DMs and then like see what their reaction is going to be. That's one of the coolest things ever. and Mikey has mastered it on a level that nobody can like ever top. I don't think it's beautiful. Uh, Beefing supporting cast of Silver and Sky spinoffs. Awesome stuff. Again,
That's great.
anything, anytime he drops anything, Dreamwalker, it just
It's great.
it's so amazing. Oh my god.
Any anytime when he's on Savage Bat channel, on your show, or even on Skywalker's channel, it's great because he always makes it entertaining, and that's what I love about Mikey. He makes it entertaining. He's an entertaining person.
And this is the great thing. This is the great thing too. Again, because we're all getting to know each other and we're all connecting on such a positive level. It just there's no way that you can look at this and say that it's negative. And this is what I feel like. We were talking earlier about haters. It's like you got so many people that come at Sil Nation in a negative way, and the only reason they do that is because they're jealous of the kind of community that we have. They're jealous because Mikey Sutton is part of Sil Nation and didn't choose to be associated with them. It's
And it's not
all jealousy. That's what it is.
and it's not only that, right? I want to be able to promote Dreamwalker too. There is one thing I wanted to do is to promote Dreamwalker on my like pages and stuff. I would love to get Mikey on on my YouTube page and get him on talking about Dreamwalker and promoting that stuff whenever he's got the time, because I would love to do that and be able to have Mikey on, have you on my channel, have everybody that I know that has got a YouTube page. I want to get them on because that would be really amazing to have everybody on my page.
Well, it's all about, again, man, it's all about collaborating. That all happens in due time. You know it will. Believe me, man, when we are connecting on the levels that we are, of course you're gonna have everybody on your channel, because that's what happens. It's organic. It all just connects the way it's supposed to, and it's such a beautiful thing.
Mikey's just one amazing person. Same as Necron. Necron's another great person. We cannot leave out Necron, the
Yeah.
Lobo of Sil Nation. He is the Lobo of Sil
Shout
Nation.
out to El Necron, of course. Yes, another great individual here too. It's amazing stuff.
Yes.
Super Bro Corey is a mild-mannered reporter in 1986. Holy cow! And Zod's connection to the press. You see how Mikey is connecting all the dots. It's so amazing. And I said this before about Dreamwalker. I said to Mikey one day, I feel like, it's kind of like Dreamwalker is writing itself. And Mikey said it is. It is.
He's connecting the dots.
Absolutely.
Sooner rather than later, we're gonna have like a big universe, and
Oh,
maybe that
absolutely.
I would love to see Dreamwalker turn into an animated film or an animated cartoon. That would be great.
Telephone booths in 1986. Sock says Sox Bulletins returns on YouTube tomorrow, and I have a lot to say. Everybody, of course, is looking forward to that, Sox.
Yes,
I
same
can't
here.
I can't wait. I'm all in, man. Mikey Sutton, what are telephone booths? Oh my god, everybody is it's just such a great
It's
way to
positive,
like
all positive comments, which is
exactly all positive comments, all positive content. It's beautiful stuff. And that's why I don't like to take anything that anybody says when they speak negatively about Sil Nation seriously, because they don't know what we're doing. They don't know anything about us. They're just going off of their their own feelings, their misinformation and their BS. It's like it's easy to watch a live stream and to take everything out of context. It's easy to pick and choose what you want to believe and what you don't want to believe. But one thing that we can say about Sil Nation is that we're all always honest with each other, and we all, come through, and that's why it always works, because it's very positive, and we all care about each other, and you have to have that when
And
you're building a community like this.
we're not discrimination. We don't have racism. We don't have any of that. All of that is kicked out. That's what we
Oh
are.
yeah,
We
no,
kick
no, no,
all.
no, no, none of that would have ever been a part of it. Yeah, under any circumstances. What's up, Southbound? Good to see you, man. Glad you could make it.
So
We got
southbound.
yeah, and there's the bad channel into the Mikey verse, immortalized, of course. And here's where Mikey talks about your character. Teladia
Yeah,
Plays is the computer expert on the team, master hacker. Mikey
I love
Sutton
that.
is Teladia Immortal. I want to know about that too. Hey, can
Yeah,
I
I
get
want to
a
know.
cool gut dropping wisdom to Stan Lee? Build me out. And let's see, we got Super Bro Corey, absolutely amazing. And let's see, the Bat Channel says he is the one. And I got another 10-pound super chat here from the Savage Bat. You have learned much, young one. Rise, Darth Teladia.
Yes,
So there you go. Everyone in Rogues is immortal for various reasons. Very nice, Mikey. Wow.
nice. That is
Master,
amazing.
Master Beta. Oh, this is why I created the term, excuse me, the Mikey verse. He brought us all together and we are all one with him. Yeah, it's
Yes,
one big happy community and it's amazing. Like I said, I for one am just overwhelmed with excitement by what's being created here. It's just an amazing thing. And Mikey says, "You're welcome, brother. It's so fun to
I
write."
appreciate it.
We've got Retro Nerd Girl here. Teladia Plays is so very supportive and is very passionate about the fandom. What a great guy.
Thank you, Natural
Yeah,
Nerd Girl.
see.
Thank you ever so
You
much.
see what a wonderful community this is. I'm telling you, it's
Yes,
fantastic.
I appreciate all the nice comments, guys. I really do.
And Mikey says, wait until the big news drops. The reactions off the chart. Completely agree. Oh my God. Sox Bulletin says that will be the ultimate news, then, Mikey. And Mikey says betas are boring. I wrote the funniest at Sox Bulletin scene. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
I will say this: the character that I'm most looking forward to seeing in Dreamwalker, other
It's
than
suck.
my first appearance, is Socks.
Yeah, I agree. It's suck.
I'm like all the stuff that Mikey has said about Socks' character has me so excited. Like I
Yeah,
can because I feel like it's going to be the greatest villain in comic book history of all time. It's so brilliant. I could see Socks having like a series of movies and TV shows and cartoons. I could see Socks being a franchise by
player.
himself, like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. Like that, like that's what I think of when I think of
I
Socks. I
can
see
see. I
all
can see.
these things. Like
I
it's
can. I can.
crazy.
I can see socks in a video game, a horror video game,
Yeah, yeah, like
and it'd
Dead
be
by
hey,
Daylight
yeah. And by the way,
with
Skywalker,
Socks.
it's nice to see you here too. Very appreciative you being here. And
I mean, let's see. Bat Dan says I can't wait for the big news to drop, and everybody is super hyped as always. Wow, wow, this is so good. This is such great stuff. Southbound says, "Remember Mikey Sutton? I'm a gangster ass werewolf."
oh yeah,
Well, again, werewolf by night. You know, Mikey's a big fan of, and just saying. See, this is why Dreamwalker writes itself because Mikey has gets all the inspiration. He has all the inspiration, and he's getting to know all these cast of characters, all of us, and
it's
it's just building and building
amazing.
and building. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's just an amazing, universe.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I couldn't be. I couldn't agree more. And again, and that's why I'm saying I love doing these kinds of streams because again, nothing better than being able to be positive the entire stream. Integrity says the haters have been wrong about everything. You're right about that, Integrity. You have no idea how right you are about that, but you are right 100%. Sock says, whenever I think of Neo 7s, I think about his flame throwing, roasting betas alive. Wow.
Yes, the Firefly of the Soul Nation.
What's up? What's up, Mr. Stokely? Good to see you. He says,
Welcome.
how's it going, everybody? Welcome. Southbound in the building, of course. Yes, we've got so many great people up in here, man. I mean, wow.
It's amazing to see a lot of people, especially to see Mikey Savage, especially Savage back, even though it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm still surprised he's still up at this time. You know.
And they got the great Skywalker, the Jedi. You know, Teladia plays. Nice to see you here, sir. Hashtag Sil Nation is going strong. And Sil Nation is only going to get stronger. It's only going to
Every day.
continue to grow. It's only going to get bigger and bigger. We're not stopping. Again, just like my book, paused, not stopped. Listen, nothing is going to get in the way of this. And like Skywalker the Jedi is fond of saying, hashtag the arc is closed. And I couldn't be happier because I feel like everything is just shaping up to be so beautiful. Man, I'm loving it right now. The
I got
Batman says, having a great time hanging out with my YouTube fam. This is so beautiful.
I gotta say, right, having not only talking to you, but to have the chat reply is great to see on this stream, and especially for all your streams, for everybody to see. For you, for Skywalker.
I'll tell you this, Teladia, the best part about late night Q&A for me is how interactive the chat is, how the chat is
Yeah,
always so into everything. And I've been so lucky to have so many great people on late night Q&A, and I couldn't be happier to have you among them, because this is a stream, that we've both wanted to have for a while, and I'm
yes.
just so glad that we could finally make it happen
Oh,
tonight. And the Savage Bat with another 10-pound super chat. Thank you, Savage Bat. Says Wayne Enterprises has 6 satellites. Mikey Sutton owns 2 of them.
now you mean to say he owns 3 of them? That's what he meant to say.
Mikey, Mikey, Mikey is on top, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Retro Nerd Girl says yes. Sox Bulletin's debut in the comic is my most anticipated.
agreed.
Sox has so much potential. Sox Bulletin says, I have fully embraced the character that Mikey Sutton is based on me. And I quote Alice Cooper, welcome to my nightmare. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Listen, Sox, again, your character, I think, has the potential to be one of the greatest horror icons of all time. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I just, based on everything Mikey is saying, I'm like so excited. I'm like, this is the character. This is that going to be that
I
breakout character, like huge.
Yes, I've actually literally hidden my socks just because of socks bulletins. Just because of that, Mikey has created a monster that literally
I'm
was my
telling, I'm
sock.
telling you, yeah, Mikey, Mikey knows what he's doing. I'm telling you, I'm super excited for the Sox character. Yeah, everybody is. Mikey Sutton, will Zack Snyder be a character in Dreamwalker? That's a good question. Oh wow. Southbound 110. Stay tuned. See, I told you, Southbound. Mikey draws inspiration from so many places. I, for one, am personally very, very excited about the 1986 timeline angle of that idea of my character hunting down Silver from that far back to where we are now, and just all of the developments and things, and thinking about where Skywalker's character is going to be, and the Savage Bat, and Silver and the Savage Bat being brothers somehow. And I'm so excited. Like the whole Dreamwalker, people have no idea. They need to get in on this now and need to start and need to read, need to get these 2 issues if you
Yeah,
have not, because it's an incredible comic. It's very cinematic. It's the most cinematic comic book I think I've
ever
read
made.
in a long, long time. Like it
E-
really
ev-
captures, it has a film-like quality to it. And
It's
it all just pops off the pages. It's
it's the
incredible.
artwork. The artwork hits it for me. That's what I feel about
Well, the
the
artwork, yeah, the artwork is cinematic and the writing is cinematic.
yes.
So you have
Both
a
those
combination that is just explosive and just brings out, the greatest artistic expression you could get from a comic. And for me, I've read a lot of comics. I've been reading comics my whole life, and so when I look at Dreamwalker, I say to myself, "My God, this like speaks to me. This is the kind of comic book that, you know, I this is something I think as time goes on, you're going to have big comic book companies vying for this. They're going to
Mhm.
want a piece of Dreamwalker because Dreamwalker is phenomenal. And they say, we hear all this stuff, about Zack Snyder's Justice League being a global phenomenon. You haven't
This
seen
is
nothing yet.
this is a global phenomenon.
Dreamwalker is huge. I'm telling you that these first 2 issues are something special. And if you're not on board, again, you need to get on board. Second Skin Comics, the second issue, just came out not too long ago, and now there's variants, and you can get
I'm wait.
handmade
I'm wait.
sketches. I mean,
I'm waiting for all the issues to come out, and then I collect them all in one shot. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mikey says, Bad Dad's thoughts there will
If you
be a
don't mind that,
tribute,
Mikey.
a tribute to him, a tribute to Snyder. Let's see. Mikey, my character doesn't die even if I'm the guy that sells a bag
The
of
bag of
blood.
blood.
With bated breath, we got Mikey Sutton. I'm still behind the arc in my dinghy. Mikey, will there be issue 4? Oh, yeah, there's going to be an issue 4. Guaranteed. There's the first story arc is 6 issues. I think that's what Mikey had said before. The
So I'm gonna
first
collect.
arc, 6 issues. Yeah.
That sucks. Mikey just said that the sword cover is all gone. Half got destroyed in the
Oh
war.
yeah, this cover is limited, so now you have to get the variant because and this will be on eBay and it'll be super expensive, like the variant for issue number 1. But I don't care because I have this and I'm so happy to have it.
Yeah,
Again, Dreamwalker
but
is a masterpiece, and I
and
and
like
I
sorry, I was gonna say, like I said, when the first 6 issues are fully out, that's when I'll get them all. I'm a collector.
Awesome. Southbound, I will DM you on Twitter for when we can connect for a Q&A, bro. Absolutely. Uh and what's up? This is my girl Davilia ZodWriter. Hey stranger, miss you. Hope you're doing well and happy holidays. I hope you're doing well. Also, miss you too, and I'm always glad to see you. So thank you for being here. And Socks. Yes, Mikey Sutton has created a monster. It's me, and I love it. See how Socks has completely
He
embraced
he embraces the character.
100%. 100%. He is ready. He is ready for Socks to take over the world. Socks is going to conquer the world. It's going to be
I just want,
fantastic.
I really, what I really want is for uh Mikey's Dreamwalker to be a really big success, and I want people from the UK and from my community as well to get to know Mikey's comic. That's what I really would love to for
Oh,
him.
absolutely. I mean, it's worldwide. That's the truth. I mean, you have a worldwide phenomenon. This is going to be huge. Like, I mean, people just have no idea. And
Yeah.
Skywalker the Jedi talking about Southbound 110. My dude is out there trying to doggy paddle. Ooh.
Ooh.
And 30 Mikey Sutton says 36 years of hunting.
Yes,
And
Bat
let's
Channel.
see. We got everybody talking. We got so much that this has become an impromptu Dreamwalker edition of Late Night Q&A with Teladia. Oh my god, this is awesome. That sword cover is all gone. Half destroyed in the mail. Super rare. First arc is 6 issues. Yes. See.
Yes.
Um, let's see. And Mr. Stokely, Mikey, I want to be a part of the Dreamwalker universe. Let's see. Sox Bulletin says, I never once in all the years of collecting comics ever supported an independent comic book series. Dreamwalker is the very first one I ever have supported, and it's because of my respect for Mikey Sutton. Well, there you go, Sox. And
Um,
what's happening now, Sox? You are
Sucks.
going to become one of the greatest horror
Wait,
icons of all time.
I gotta also say this. Sucks is also in the MDA because Mikey told him about the thing, and that really his reaction was priceless.
Oh yeah. And again, those MDAs are amazing. I mean,
And
let me be clear. When when the big bomb drops
yeah,
that those of us under MDA know about, when that big bomb drops, eh,
it's just
it's gonna
it,
change everything.
it's just a
Mikey says he's currently writing issue 3,
yeah.
but all 6 are plotted. And Neo
I'm
7 says
anticipating.
I'm anticipating the 3rd issue. And then we jump back to 1986. Yes, yes, yes. And 10-pound super chat from my good friend the Savage Bat, my partner on the Bat and the Kryptonian on Saturdays, and then the crossover show on Sunday. One
Featuring
more God loving man calls Mikey Sutton a con man. They will be meeting God early. So there
shit.
you go. That's from the Savage Bat himself. That is
Yes.
a stark warning to false prophets. And of
Um.
course,
By the way, I was gonna point this out. What MDA stands for is Mikey Disclosure Agreement, meaning
that's
you can't say.
correct.
So
That's
just in
correct.
case people get confused.
Well, the Bat Channel says issue 3 is going to be fire. Southbound says swimming like a coked out bear at Skywalker the Jedi. That movie is going to be awesome. I can't wait for Cocaine Bear. I am hyped for that movie. You want to talk about a movie that looks like it's gonna live up to the hype? That movie. And Super Bro Corey says, "Whoa, mind blown." Hashtag Dreamwalker verse. And let's see. Bat Dan's thought says when Mikey is on for episode 100, I bet it will be all Dreamwalker. Bat Dan, you know it. When I have Mikey Sutton on Late Night Q&A for episode 100, it's going to be all Dreamwalker. I mean, because I am going to pick Mikey's brain about Dreamwalker because, again, man, I love the Dreamwalker universe so much, and I cannot wait for episode 100, man. Well, I'm working my way up to episode 100. I mean,
We'll get
I,
you there.
I'm at
We'll
I'm
get
at
you.
God. This is episode 78. I've got episode 79. I'll be tied with the original series of Star Trek for episodes, and then I'm going to just sort of I'm just going to coast through till I get for the last 20 or so I can get to episode 100. I'm excited. Lots of bombs and
Emojis.
firecrackers going off here. Mikey Sutton, will there ever be more Dreamwalkers besides Kate in the future? That's a great question, Neo Sevens.
Great
That's a
question.
great question.
Hmm.
And Batdan's thought says, "Oh yes, keeping that MDA was fun being on your last late night Q&A to join the ARC." Yes, yes, the ARC is a beautiful arc. And Davilia says, "Hey, Zadi, I have a question. Are those earphones heavy on your ears? I wonder." No, they're actually pretty light. I'm really surprised because they do look heavy, and I can see why people would think that, but they're not. They're really not heavy at all. But yeah, um, you should get a pair. You'd probably like them. They're Mercedes brand. They're really cool. Mikey Sutton says Neo 7s variants. Okay. So there's
Nice.
Dreamwalker variants. That's great. Nice. Sock says the Dreamwalker universe is massive. This will be epic. Mr. Stokely says, I am a part of the Mikey verse. And Mikey, you truly are a world builder. And Southbound 110 says, with all the Mikey verse, Soul Nation Dreamwalker writes itself. Absolutely. It certainly
Absolutely.
does. And, I guess, Teladia, what do you got coming up, man?
I've got loads of things coming. I've got my DC weekly show coming up tomorrow. Well, today actually, today. I've got that.
Did you freeze? Are you there? Teladia, did we lose you? Looks like your internet froze or something. Up, up, up. Somebody's been messing with Teladia. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
So as I was saying, I've got the talk show DC talk show happening, and then also I will be doing Gotham Knights Heroic Assault, which is a new DLC that just come out this week. So I'll be doing that on my channel. So so I've got coming up, and everyone that's been to this stream, I thank you ever so much just to come here, like the stream. Make sure you get this guy's stream up to 50 likes. That'll be super appreciative. Get him up to 50 likes. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button to ZodWriter. It'd be super appreciative. It'll help
And
me.
absolutely, please subscribe to Teladia Plays. This guy does a lot of great content, a lot of great DC content. I've been checking out a lot of your stuff lately, trying to see what you're all about, and talking about all the game stuff. And it's great to see. Like I said earlier, it's nice to see someone, um, you know, get knee deep into the gaming side of things, because so many of us talk about the movies and only the movies, and it's just so wonderful to see the games getting their just due. So thank you so much for doing that, and thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that you
Don't
could
worry.
come, man, and we're gonna collaborate a lot more in the future, because
I
as you know, being part of Still Nation means collaborative streams, which is what we all
Yes.
do. We all collaborate together. So again, shout out to the Cool Table, shout out to Skywalker, shout out to Mikey Sutton, shout out to Sil Abdul, shout out to Retro Nerd Girl, Sox
Shout out
Bullet,
to everybody.
Bat Dan, Savage Bat, Damian Stokely, everybody here in the chat today. Shout outs to all of you. This is so amazing. Retro Nerd Girl says, my character is so much like me. It's so funny. I love it. I'm a collector of many things in real life. So cool. And Sox Bulletin says, support ZodWriter's channel, or my creator, Mikey Sutton, will send me to your house while you are asleep and take your socks. That again, that whole socks thing is just so frightening. I can't wait. I am like, you know, you know, you know. Okay, again, let me just reiterate this for people. Okay. Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jigsaw, Chucky, Socks.
Socks
Okay,
is on that list.
Socks is going to be towering over all of them in terms of fear and and creepiness and scariness on a level that none of us have seen. I swear to God, I would rather be in a dream world with Freddy Krueger than be near death in a room with Socks. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh man,
Socks is on a whole other level, bro. It's incredible. The Bat Channel says, great show, fam. Thank you. And Davilia says, all right, Zadi. Well, I have to go. I'm out clubbing with my girlfriends. All right. Well, you have a great night. you're out clubbing, and I'm about to probably go to sleep after this. Actually, I'm
Yeah,
actually pretty tired, to be honest with you. And I know Taladia, you'll probably be going to bed because it's like
yeah.
five
So,
thirty in the morning out there,
no,
isn't it? Or
no,
7:30
no,
in the morning, or what
no.
time is it?
6:20 in the morning.
Oh wow, bro. I can't thank you enough for doing this. It's been great having you on
Dude,
here. You
I,
I
it's my
you
pleasure.
you the fact that you and Savage Bat are in the UK and are able to stay up so late to do these streams, it's just insane to me. I'm like,
It's all about the support.
you
That's
guys
what
are like superheroes. You guys are like, I mean, how you find the energy. It's beautiful to see, and
it's.
I'm all for it. I think you guys are amazing. Wow.
I mean, it's all
Wow.
about the support. It's about the support. It's about caring for all the content creators within the Still Nation, within the Mikeyverse, within the Cool Table as well. Support everybody, and that's what I've been doing. Is supporting everybody. Try and get everyone's views up and replay crew. Giving the likes, even retweeting them on Twitter, making sure they get noticed to my followers.
Yes. And thank you, Davilia. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. I'm gonna have to get you on a late night Q&A one of these days. Absolutely. Oh God, this has been so much fun. What what
It's a
what a
blast.
night. What a night. I swear to God. And whenever we get, whenever we get an evening like this where we have so many great people coming into the chat, showing their support, showing their love for all of us and for Sil Nation and for the type of content that we're putting out in a very, very positive way. It just doesn't
Yeah,
get any better than this. And for those of you who want to know what to expect in the future from me, coming up in a few short hours, you can catch me and the Savage Bat for the Bat and the Kryptonian. That's going to be on the way. And then we, of course, will be doing the crossover stream on Sunday if time permits. And then,
and
of
I'll be there as well, just to
and
let you guys know.
you'll be there, of course. Yes, you've been there for most of them. And then of course later on next week I'll be back with another episode of the ZodWriter show, and hopefully another late night Q&A, possibly a collaboration. And for those that don't know, this episode of the ZodWriter late night Q&A has been sponsored by moviepalette.com. And if you use my promo code ZodWriter15, you will receive 15% off anything they got on their website right now. So definitely check out moviepalette.com. And Neil7 says, does a bat wear socks? Socks Bulletin says, let's find out. I'll take the socks. Savage Bat. The Savage Bat says it's an old British recipe. And Sock says, great show all. And Retro Nerd Girl gets the final word on tonight's late night Q&A featuring Teladia Plays. She says, have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.
Good night.